Join the OurGame Supporters Club at Patreon for €5 per month to get audio podcasts of the Hurling and Football Show and much more exclusive material.
Yeah, it's true. And even just back to the record at Croke Park, last year they beat Westmeath 22-11 when that was in Portlaoise, I think. This year at Wexford Park, they only beat Wexford by 15 points to 7. And then if you look at their Croke Park record last year, 223-7 against Laois, 321 to 9 points against Meath. I mean, I was in at that, and it was so grim. It was horrific to watch. And I just wonder, can we make any case for Meath winning this game? In his 5 years, Andy McEntee has now used 75 players and 9 different goalkeepers. So what does that tell you, Conleith?
It tells you there's obviously a lack of goalkeepers in Meath, or there's too many goalkeepers, one of the two. Look, and I think Meath, they're exciting. I think they're at a level in top end of Division 2, and that's where they're at. I think they're just below the real top 3 or 4 teams. But they have pace, they have power, they have physicality. And Declan's right. If they can't make a fist of this game, then the Leinster Championship looks like it's dead anyway. But they have to be able to show something that, for McEntee to come back another year and go at it again, they have to be able to say, look, we're making progress, we're going in the right direction. And anything other than getting into 5 or 6 points would be seen as abject failure as well for McEntee and Meath. And Leinster need a strong Meath. And if this game was in Navan, you'd be looking at it differently, because I know myself, not having played in Croke Park a huge amount of times, every time I went there was always a real excitement about playing there. It was amazing. But it was unsettling. Hitting frees was unsettling. And people would say, look at it and go, sure, it's just grass, it's just goalposts. But it's not. Everything's different about it. The distance, there's maybe 7 foot of grass from the sideline to where the grass finishes. And when you're kicking balls wide, Dublin know every expanse of that. Other teams coming up don't. Meath will be better prepared in Croke Park than other teams because they would play in it most years. But I just think that I just can't see where they're going to stop this Dublin juggernaut just yet.
Yeah, and Declan, if you take that up, and then maybe just quickly on Kildare Westmeath.
Yeah, look, it's just summed up with that. Until we actually see change in the relationship between Meath and Dublin, then there's nothing is going to change. Kildare Westmeath have the look of Westmeath over the last number of years. You could see, certainly in terms of players, how they're developing. I think that the Kildare's need is greater here. Kildare would be, the investment even of having Jack O'Connor there, it has to pay off for them. And they've kind of always seen themselves as a step up from where they're stationed in life right now. So I mean, maybe it's time for a little bit of development or something to pay off there.
Yeah. So just to finish that off, then Kildare did get through against Offaly in the quarterfinal, 115-13. Westmeath battered Laois 320-110. So do you have a favourite for that other semi-final, Conleith?
Yeah, I think as Declan said, what Jack O'Connor has done there, they have done really well and they've been very competitive. But Westmeath has probably been one of the success stories. It's not one of the sexy counties, but what they've been able to do and bring players through, and they have lost a lot of players over the last couple of years, but they keep that going. But I just think Kildare are at the stage now where they're trying to break back into that top tier again, and I think Kildare will just edge it. But that's not to take away from what Westmeath have done. I think they've been brilliant, and I suppose whenever I seen the Laois result last day out, I just thought, where are Laois at? Because Westmeath absolutely battered them. But again, there's obviously good work going on in Westmeath. I don't know a huge amount about them, but in terms of the results, they have been very, very competitive now for the last number of years.
Join the OurGame Supporters Club at Patreon for €5 per month to get audio podcasts of the Hurling and Football Show and much more exclusive material.